Hello and welcome back. I feel like it's been so long since I last talked to a camera and talked to you. This is a home update. So just to give a little bit of a recap of where I've been, I went to my parents' house for Thanksgiving. And then when I came back to LA, I just really wanted to embrace the holiday spirit. So I've been going to like every public Christmas or holiday event that I could find, like markets or Christmas tree lighting things. And I also I've just been like recharging, so I've been reading a lot, listening to music, gardening, doing things around the house, playing with Winnie and Theo, just things that really fill my cup. I have done a few things around the house, specifically in this room, in the bedroom, that I want to share with you. And we're also going to do some Christmassy stuff, so we are going to put up the lights for our Christmas tree, and oh yeah, I want to make a garland. I'm going to try my hand at making a garland. So yeah, let's start in this room. So the past week I painted this room and I didn't change the color, I didn't repaint anything. I decided to paint all of the white parts that I left the same color as the wall. That's because the white of the ceiling was more of like a blue undertone, while the wall is obviously more warm, and so the colors just didn't look that great together. I noticed that especially at night, or not at night, but like more in the evening time when the sun went down, the colors would look really weird together. So this is only my second room that I've painted, so I'm learning a lot still about how paint interacts with light and how it makes you feel in a space. Now with everything the same color, it's kind of interesting. Let me zoom you out. Before, I feel like your eye would get caught right here because this is where the paint color on the wall and the white of the ceiling met, so your eye would be drawn to that contrast line. But now that it's all the same color, it flows a lot better, and it's also like enveloping and warm, but at the same time it makes the room bigger. It's kind of interesting. I feel like those are two contradictory things, but that is how I feel in here. I kind of knew that painting the ceiling the same color as the wall would work really well here because the ceiling is so low. Like it's probably 6'3" or 6'2". Yeah, I think so. Yeah, people say that painting the ceiling the same color as your wall in a small room typically looks better, and I definitely agree after experiencing this. I'm really happy with Theo. Okay, Theo's trying to get outside, but we're trying to film right now, okay, Theo? Okay, I'm gonna hold him. I really love this color. I think it turned out great. Also, I feel like the room looks a lot different than the last time I showed you, which was about like 1 or 2 months ago. But yeah, the color is so pretty. It like really changes with the light. So in the shadow areas, it looks a lot darker, and it kind of has a bit of a green sometimes. And then in the lighter areas, sometimes it almost looks white. So I'm learning a lot about how like the paint color interacts with the highlights of a room and in the shadows. Over here, I actually tried to do something. I was just like experimenting, seeing if it would look good, and it did not look very good, but I painted this portion of the window box in a darker color that's called Biscuit, and yeah, it didn't look that great, so I just painted over it with the rest of the wall color. And yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you because sometimes I get these ideas, and I'm a very visual person, like physically visual person. Like I need to see something in person before I decide if I really like it or not. And so I was like, let me just try this because I can just paint over it. And yeah, it didn't look that great. Over here, I added this shelf. Before we had a nightstand, and I just felt like this area was too narrow. Like this area is very cramped. So any nightstand or like blocky piece of furniture that I put here, it felt very tight and very heavy. Also because of this brick. Like this brick is really like a heavy material in this room with the color and also just the material of it. Oh, also we used to have a red garden bench here, but I moved it out into the garden because there's just not that much room in this area. So this is a shelf that's just an unused shelf from the bookcase shelf that's in the living room. It is just like a basic plywood shelf, but it matches really well with the Floyd bed frame that we have over here. And it didn't cost me anything because I already had brackets, and this shelf was just an extra one that we had. So it's not like very complex or anything, but I think it goes well with the room, and it matches the headboard and also the flooring, and it gives so much more space here. Like visually it feels a lot lighter, and it is simple. But I kind of like simple for this room because I feel like the rest of the house is very eclectic and there's a lot of stuff and knickknacks. So it's nice to have like just a bare bones room, I think. Especially as a bedroom, you know, you don't need too much in a bedroom. Okay, so now I am going to style this area. I'm not gonna lie, I already had this hung up on the brick, but for the sake of you seeing like a before and after type thing, I took it off. So there's already nails in there, but let's just pretend like I'm putting it up for the first time. Okay, so this brick, it makes the room extremely like asymmetrical, and it's also not the nicest brick. So I was considering painting over it with the same color as the wall. So I was gonna ask my landlord about that, but then I started thinking about how the brick has been here ever since the house was built, and it's like an original feature. And then I felt kind of odd, like making an irreversible change onto something that's been with this house for the entirety of its life. It's kind of like weirdly sentimental about the house, but so I decided against asking my landlord about it and instead just like softening it, because right now it's extremely hard. And I also don't really love how much red it is. So I got this tapestry. This is I think it's a Scandinavian tapestry, and I got it at the Rose Bowl flea market. I love the colors. Like the colors match really well with the wall, and I like the tassels. Like I like the fringe. Normally I don't like fringe on rugs, but if it's like hung up on the wall and it's not gonna get messed up, then I think it's fine. So yeah, I have this hung up here. I was thinking about doing picture frames, but they just felt like still very rectangular and sharp. So this helps soften up the brick. Look, now Winnie has joined us. Hello, Winnie. She's getting so big now. She is, I don't know if she needs to go on a diet soon, but she's about 10 pounds and Theo is 4 pounds. So she is more than double Theo's weight now. Excuse me. It also acts as a ledge for Winnie because she loves to sit around here and then look out the window. But I need to put this on the nightstand, please. Okay, well maybe I'll just talk a little bit and then she'll leave. So these are all of my magazines. I've been in love. I don't know what it is, but I've just been like on a physical media kick lately. You'll see more of my physical media interest when we go downstairs. But yeah, I just love these magazines. The Brutus magazines, because they just do a lot of like interior stuff and plant stuff, and it's just right up my alley in terms of the style. And yeah, I just love these, so I look at them all the time. So I'm gonna put them on the shelf. Excuse me, Winnie. I'm sorry, I'm gonna take you off. Okay, I'm gonna put them on this side, the shelf. And then next up, I need a lamp here so I can read at night. And also I just think like having a bedside lamp is always nice. So I was thinking about what kind of lamp I wanted to get. This room was starting to feel very warm and very soft, which is a good thing, but I don't like to lean too much into one aesthetic or one style. It started to feel a bit like folky and boho-ish with the tapestry and then the wall color and then this quilt, which I'll talk about soon. So I knew I wanted to add in something a bit colder to cool it down. This is an Artemide Tolimo lamp, and I found this on Facebook Marketplace, where I find most of my things, and it is in aluminum. When you have a lot of like warmer tones and organic elements, adding in some type of cool metal really helps balance things out. I always like to have a bit of a balance between warm and cool. I lean more towards warm for sure, but I feel like I need those cool elements to like bring the temperature down. Also, about 2 years ago when I went to Japan, I saw that they integrate a lot of stainless steel and cooler metals with their plants and with their wood and aquariums and things like that. And it's just a really beautiful balance between the two materials. So yeah, I got this lamp, perfect for reading and things, and it's also adjustable. I also like that it looks a bit techy and officey. I think Paige Wassel, she talked about how she liked techy pieces lately, and I kind of agree with that. It's not super bright, but that's nice because I use it at night. So yeah, look at that. I feel like it is the perfect fit for here. I still don't really know what I want to do with the area over the bed. I tried to put like an art piece here, but it looks odd to have something in the center of the bed because of the asymmetry from the brick. So that's kind of out. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to lean into the asymmetry. So there's this picture that I found on Pinterest that I really like. I just like how they hung the art, and art placement is something I kind of struggle with, and I feel like a unique art placement and art pairing can really completely make a space look super cool and unique. So whenever I see spaces like that, I always save them and kind of think, what is it that makes this look cool? Side note, but I feel like that's a really good tip for when you're learning about your taste and what you like, is when you're scrolling through Pinterest or your Instagram Explore page, when you save something, try and figure out what it is about that calls to you and why it caught your eye and why you like it. That way you can identify it and try to implement something like that within your own space. And that also just helps you learn and figure out what you actually like. But yeah, so I feel like I need to do something a bit unique and asymmetrical, and I don't want to do anything crazy. So I have these two tiny art pieces of cats, and I got these on Etsy a long time ago. And it actually comes with 4. So I have 2 other cats around the house, and I think that like tiny frames are kind of cool. It's like, why is that art so small? So this is a yellow one, and this is an orange one. This one reminds me of Chris. This is my favorite one too. I was thinking of like hanging it here. I was just playing around with it. So I have these 2 little frames here, and yeah, I think the spacing is also kind of interesting, and I like how this is sort of a grouping together with the tapestry in these 2. I really love the direction that the room is going in. I feel like it looks so different from the last time you saw it. Okay, so now let's talk about one of my favorite changes in this room. I got this quilt from my friend who purchased it a while ago, and they missed their return window, so they were just holding on to it, and she asked if I wanted it for like an early Christmas gift, and I said yes, of course, please give it to me, because she knows that I've been like looking for a quilt. This was before I got the fish quilt, and it is from the brand Toast. They're a UK based brand, and I have some of their clothes, but they also make home goods. This is quite expensive, like it's a very expensive piece, and I wouldn't buy this myself. However, if you have the money, this is so nice. The colors are beautiful, and it's just really well made. If you're looking to splurge on a quilt, definitely check out Toast. But the colors are like rich, and these are all the colors that I love. And the pattern is so pretty too. I still have the fish quilt, and I love the fish quilt, but I think I'll use that one during the summer months, because this one is much thicker and keeps us warm, while the fish quilt is very thin. So that'll be nice when it's hot, but this is good when it's cold. Here we are in the living room, and we have a tree up. So I wasn't going to decorate really for the holidays, but Chris is gonna go to Florida to see his family. I would pretty much be home alone because we don't have anyone to watch Winnie and Theo, so I can't go to my parents' house for Christmas. So my parents and my family were really nice, and they decided to come to our house for Christmas. So because they are coming for the holidays, I decided, let me decorate, because this is the first time we're doing Christmas not at my parents' house. So we put up this tree, and I'm not going like too crazy with decorations or anything, but I wanted to at least have a tree. And we don't have the lights yet, they're coming tonight. So we're gonna put up the lights together. And I got these really cool like vintage looking light bulbs. That is why like the furniture is moved out of the way, because of the tree. So yeah, the coffee table is moved to the other side of the room, and so is the chair that's here. We added this throw blanket that was on the other chair because I think the colors go really well together, and it's a bit dark, so it helps to add some contrast here, because the couch and the rug and the bookshelf, they're all very similar in color. So it helps to, you know, ground it a bit. I don't know if this is something that you really care about, but it is something that I've been pretty into lately. I'll explain this, but this is our new audio setup. So I've been looking for a speaker for a while, because I like to listen to music in the living room, especially in the morning, like ambient music, just things to get me started for the day. And I couldn't find any Bluetooth speakers that I liked aesthetically, so it was taking me a really long time to find a speaker. And then I watched a home tour, and I saw these really beautiful vintage bookshelf speakers in their bookshelves. I'll put it right here. And that led me down a rabbit hole of bookshelf speakers because I love the look of them. So I was looking to buy some of them online. And then I realized that Los Angeles is the best place probably to find like audio equipment on Facebook Marketplace because there's so many music people in Los Angeles. And I found this really amazing setup for a very, very good price. So this guy was upgrading his equipment, so he was getting rid of like his old setup. These are Wharfdale bookshelf speakers, and this is a receiver, and this is a CD player. He wasn't selling his turntable, so I got my own turntable for records and things, and I've never had this elaborate of an audio setup before. My most elaborate audio setup is like my $25 Bluetooth speaker from IKEA. That's waterproof, that we use in the shower. So this is such a cool upgrade, and I've always like wanted an audio setup, but I didn't know where to start. And for you audiophiles out there, I know you're not supposed to have your turntable on the same surface as your speakers, but I don't have the bass that loud and I don't turn the music up that loud, so I don't think it's much of a problem. Like I said, I've been on a physical media kick, and now that has extended into music, and we don't have that many vinyl. I only have 2 at the moment. This is mine. This is Carrion Lull by Sufjan Stevens, my favorite album from him. And then this is Marina the Diamond's Fruit. This is Chris's album, or his vinyl. And yeah, so we have 2 right now, but we got each other records for Christmas, so I'm excited to open those. And the CD player is really nice because there are albums that I listen to only on YouTube, and I'm afraid one day when that random YouTube account gets like restricted or banned or it gets shut down that I'll never be able to find the music again. Because for example, there's this album by Kenichiro Isoda, which I burned onto a CD, that I listen to all the time, and it's just this one YouTube account that posted it. Like if that YouTube account goes away, then I'll never be able to listen to it again because I can't find it anywhere online. I can download the songs from YouTube and then burn it onto a CD. And so now if that YouTube video gets deleted, I'll always have this. So I know it's a lot more convenient to stream things from YouTube and from Spotify, but there is something that's like a completely different experience when you use physical media when you listen to music. Like it's somehow it's more tangible, and you have to really sit with the music, especially with vinyl, since you can't skip around in songs. It feels so nice to just like put in a CD, then insert it and press play. Just make sure it's not too loud. Yeah, this is my favorite, one of my favorite songs or albums I've been listening to. It has like wave noises and beach noises. And I don't want to get copywritten, so I'm not going to play it too much, but check it out. It's very, very nice. I also listen to it if I need to fall asleep. My friend Justin, who makes the ceramics for the kokedama and also some large pots for me, he is making a large pot for this plant, and I think that once we have that pot with the like handmade ceramic, it'll really tie this room together. Because right now the white is just like too modern now for this space. It's also very stark white. Okay, now let's try our hand at making a garland. I was planning on just buying a garland, but then I realized like, wait, we have plants in the garden. Why don't I just use some of those? Because we have some like cypress trees. So I was like, those are things I use in a garland, so why don't I just make my own? So we're trying our hand at making a garland. Yeah, so let's go forage for our materials. This is the first herb we're gonna take from. It has the most foliage that I can access because the other ones are quite large. So this is gonna make up most of our garland. This big. I feel like this is enough for now, and if I need more, I can get more. So next up, we have this pine tree, and it is ginormous. So I can't get that much because I can only take from the lower branches, but I'll do my best. The guide that I'm following from YouTube seems to be pretty straightforward. You get a string or a piece of twine like this, and then you make bunches with all of your foliage that you have, and then you just wrap the bunches onto the twine. So seems pretty simple. So I'm gonna try it. Let's see how it works. Typically I'm not a very crafty person, but since this involves plants, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can be crafty for this. So you make a bunch of bunches and you want to keep them about the same size. And the fuller your bunches, the fuller your garland. And so since I'm only gonna make one garland, I pretty much have unlimited resources. So let's make it pretty bushy. And also layer things. Okay, this looks pretty Christmassy. So I started making the bunches and wrapping them around here. So pretty much you just make the bunches, put it on the twine, and then you wrap it around with some wire. So I'm using bonsai wire, but the video used like floral wire. However, I'm pretty sure this is gonna work more or less the same. So I have a little bit of it done. This is probably gonna take me a little bit, and I'll get back to you when I'm finished. Okay, update. This is taking me a while, but okay. Check it out. Honestly, this looks legit. It looks a lot better than I expected it to. It would look really good if I added in some type of like beaded garland in with it, or maybe some like of those red berries or some type of red accent. But I feel like those red berries aren't cat and dog safe. And Winnie's not even messing with it. Like she went up to it, sniffed it, and then just left it alone. So I think we really trained her well on the rest of the house plants, because now she doesn't really care that much about plants. So yes, here it is on the fireplace. So I also added these lights to it, but they might be out of battery. Oh, I think these ones are out of battery. Hello, it is like 4 hours later now, and our lights are here. So I found these on TikTok. They are called True Tone bulbs, or True Tone light bulbs. So the brand is True Tone, and they're supposed to have a really nice color that is reminiscent of vintage incandescent Christmas lights. We're gonna try these out on our Christmas tree, and I'm really excited. These are bigger lights than I planned to get, but they were sold out of all of the smaller ones. They are very cool. Very excited to plug these in. And Chris is going to help us.
Hello.
We're gonna do this together.
We have the strings.
And we just need to attach all of these light bulbs to the strings.
Okay.
I'll work on one, you work on one?
Yeah. This is what connects to the other string.
Yeah.
Okay. We deserve each other. Can't stop singing this.
Oh, Chris and I watched Wicked a while ago, yes, and we loved it. I cried.
It was really, really great.
And usually I don't cry during movies.
That's
Chris
true.
knows.
Benji's a non-crier.
I like get close. I get teary, but I never really, like the tear never falls. What's your favorite song from Wicked?
I don't want to be basic and say Defying Gravity.
Well,
but how can you not say Defying Gravity? I also like the One Short Day in the Emerald City.
Whenever we hang out in the living room, like both of us together, Theo always like is in a very playful mood, and he loves playing with Winnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winnie's helping you.
Helping is a word.
Hey.
I like how you don't really need to be super. I don't think I got one actually. Okay, get ready for the big reveal. I feel like I'm doing an experiment. Okay.
Ooh, it's so cute.
I don't know how the colors read on camera, but it's so nice in person. Wow. Do you like it?
Yeah, I really do.
We have this one, which is a Christmas tree light bulb that was made into an ornament.
It's a little shell angel. Benji said it reminded him of Sanibel Island in Florida. I think it's really cute.
The lights are so intense you can't even see the ornaments.
The lights are the ornaments.
I'm gonna play Christmas music from my Christmas CD. This is Bing Crosby. Look at this ornament.
And the more you give at Christmas time, the more you get. It was snowing hard all day.
So we finished setting up the tree, and it's so nice. We've put all the ornaments on. Thank you for watching this video, and if I don't check in before the holidays, happy holidays. Bye.
Happy holidays.